Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Kindred Fates video. This will be sort of one of those bite-sized videos. I figure the best sort of course of action with regards to Kindred Fates is that the weeks we get the bi-weekly newsletter, we'll do these sort of smaller bite-sized videos on the Friday, and then the news update the following day on the Saturday, with our Temtem videos moving over to Thursday on those weeks. That'll not only provide you guys with more content, but it'll also allow me an adequate amount of time to properly research my more in-depth videos. With regards to the newsletters, I know they come out on Friday, but when they come out, I'm usually at work, so it's easier for me just to get the information out on Saturday. Anyways, with all that being said, let's jump right into this whole Black Spire thing. So some of you may be wondering, what is Black Spire exactly? And granted, if you're not in the Discord server or have access to the progress board on Trello, you wouldn't really know, as there hasn't been a quote-unquote official announcement for this Kinfolk. Now, Black Spire popped up a couple weeks ago on the progress board as a Kinfolk being worked on. Now, Black Spire is of course a code name, and as of right now, it exists on the backlog while they're working on other Kinfolk that we've also sort of talked about, but we'll be doing videos on in the future. Now, from what we see, Black Spire's question mark symbol is brown, likely representing the Earth type. In terms of official Kinfolk, Shovelbutt was the first Earth type to be revealed and is already represented on the progress board, so we know it's not that. There was some speculation in the Discord about this being Castrix, but Castrix is an air type, likely with a dark leaning, so the Earth type symbol doesn't really make much sense there. So now I'd like to spend some time going over the various meanings for the word Spire and anything that may relate. Many of these may well have nothing to do with the Earth type, however, I figured I'd want to present various pieces of information, and perhaps our lovely community may be able to fill in some of the blanks. So by definition, the word spire is a noun for a tall, acutely pointed pyramidal roof structure, often seen on churches and in various buildings. They're generally cosmetic, but can also act as lightning rods. Now, on a side note, the Earth does sort of ground electricity, so that's an interesting parallel. There are some other definitions, one of which referencing the upper tapering part of a gastropod mollusk containing all but the whorl containing the body. The word also has various origins, including French, Latin, and Greek, all of which essentially mean the word coil or spiral. Another definition for the word refers to the part of the tree trunk above the first branch, essentially the top of it, and the German origin for this word means tall blade of grass. Another thing that's interesting is the fact that the word spire's usage has done nothing but decline since the 1800s. This word was likely used due to Skymill's quite successful attempt to be cryptic with this creature. So I see there being a couple interesting ways this creature could pan out, the first having something to do with Shovelbutt's evolutionary line. Now, when it comes to Kinfolk, it seems as though those with two evolutions, like that split, seem to get separate characteristics from the original. So to explain that a little more clearly, Auburn is a bear cub / puppy hybrid, and one way it evolves into M-Bear, which drops the dog elements, and the other way to the vice versa when it evolves to Canite. Let's even look at how Skymill Studios picked their art contributions from fans, being Deer Dog and Nyazin. They stated in both cases that they felt the creatures fit perfectly with their vision, and the hybrid aspects of Deer Dog being deer and dog, and Nyazin being like a catworm thing, I believe are no coincidence. Now look at Shovelbutt. It seems to follow that same sort of split idea, with half of it being this sort of reptile that reminds me of Bulbasaur, and the other sort of being based on a man-made tool, being a shovel. Now, what if its split evolution involves the man-made aspect of it, perhaps being more close to architecture? I know it sounds weird, but a shovel is a construction tool, while a spire is the top of a building, and thus the end product of construction. Now, that's just one way to think about it. I'm not exactly sure how that would look, but another option could be that Shovelbutt's, butt becomes a shell or something to that extent, and Shovelbutt becomes closer to like a turtle with maybe like a tree or a lightning rod on its shell. With the tree, it could be like Earth with a Gaia leaning, though that doesn't really explain the name Black Spire, unless like the tree's rotted or something. It doesn't necessarily have to be related to Shovelbutt, though I do kind of think it is. Another example of something that maybe is not related to Shovelbutt could be like a snake of some sort, as Spire can also refer to the word coil. Maybe in that sense, the snake could be like Earth type with a mecha leaning, being maybe made of sleek iron, black iron specifically to reference the Black Spire. Or it could even just have a lightning rod on its tail that's made of black iron, something to that extent. There's also the possibility of the previously mentioned turtle with a black shell, perhaps made out of black iron, but I'm not too sure. Just before we wrap things up, and I don't think this is related, but I still wanted to mention it, when you type in Black Spire on Google, the first thing you see is this place in Star Wars called Black Spire, specifically in the Star Wars Disney park. I'm not too educated in the Star Wars franchise, so perhaps there's a reference there that I'm missing, but I don't really think so. Let me know in the comments for those of you who are more Star Wars savvy. Anyways, guys, I'd love to get a discussion going through the community about what exactly Black Spire could entail. Make sure to let me know in the comments if I missed anything or if you have a separate theory or something to that extent. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to like and subscribe. I'm doing tons of Kindred Fates content out here. And follow me on Twitter at GymLeaderEd, join our Discord server, all that fun stuff. Until next time, guys, peace.